Hey, Abby, how you doing? Hey, cover looks great, coming along beautifully. I just want to bring that down a little bit so we can see. Really, really looking good. Um, I'm the only issues I'm having is now you've really done a great job. Okay, this is coming along beautifully. It's just superior to the last work. So my idea is this. Let's do this. You're really close to the edge of the page, especially down here and up here. I mean, you're really pushing it. I mean, that's just your printer and your production people are just going to hate you if you turn this work in because it's going to make their job difficult. So remember, at least I mean the general rule of thumb is at least a 16th of an inch. I prefer more like an eighth. So really watch that. Um, I think that this is coming together typographically. Nice relationships here between this type and this type. However, I think you should use more typefaces in your subheads, okay? Also, the image is much better than it was. My idea is just to just shrink that image down a little bit so that the face is maybe in this area right here. That way you can fit type not only over here, but on this side as well. You'll be accomplishing two things. Number one, you'll be giving me more evidence of your ability to proficiently set type as we've learned in the last several weeks. And the other thing is it'll balance out the page. Okay. The other thing I want to mention here is I still think it's really difficult for students, especially when you're used to just going and designing. This typographic assignment is also a magazine assignment. So it's difficult to ask students to say, okay, forget what you know about design right now and design using typography. And that's really one of the most difficult parts of the class. And I think that once students understand and learn how to do that, they're really well on their way to becoming a better designer. I think I'm saying that, well, I know I'm saying that because I think that you're letting image interfere with your typography. I'm seeing it in the not only in the last, I remember saying this at least a couple of times, but I'm seeing it in the cover. I'm seeing it in the contents page, and I'm seeing it in the interior spread. And let me tell you what I'm talking about. Okay, now what you're doing is you've picked this image and you've decided that you're going to use it. So you've placed it, and now you're placing your type around the image. That might be a feasible way to go in a you know, if this were magazine design. I think there's a lot of folks that would say, yeah, that's a pretty decent conceptual approach to designing a magazine cover. My issue is that we don't want to do that when we're trying to show our typographic abilities and proficiencies. Okay, you don't want to talk with image, you want to talk with type. And what I'm saying, why I'm saying that is because here's a good example. If you use this image and you've actually used the image to create this continuation from page to page, and I've been warning students to try not to do that. Let's try to create this continuation with typography. So what you've done, okay, so instead, well, what you've done is you've taken the blue from the lips and put it in the type, which is great technique, very good. It ensures harmony. That was a good choice. But you've also done it over here. You've taken the same blue and now you've moved it over here. So now you're creating continuation using color instead of type. Okay? Same thing here. You've gone back to using the same image. Okay? So I don't think it's a good idea to repeat this image here in this spread here. Okay. All right, so where do we go from here? What I would do is this. I would, like I said, I would either reduce the size of that image so you can fit type over here. Try to give more variety in your headlines and your subheads. This area is okay. I'm not real sure why you have these subheads up here. That's really unusual. They should be down here. And your this area right here, I think, should be with your masthead. Okay, that masthead could be bigger. It really could. I mean, it really could. I don't know. Maybe it was big before, and I said to bring it down a little bit. I don't remember, but I think this might be a little too small. I think we could really beef that up considerably. I wish I could. There's no way I can really Okay, there we go. Something like that, maybe. Okay. So anyways, yes. So try to add a little bit more meaning and typography. And um, you may even be able to use this image if you move it over a little bit. I don't know. Work with it. Work with it. I'll leave it at that. Okay. So let's go to the contents page. Again, this is a horrible choice for an image because it's so dorky, kind of like, I don't know if what the kids like just jump and being really goofy. It's just really odd. And the other thing is that you've given us this really kind of pretty tasteful, nicely developed um, cover typography. I think these would all look better in black, by the way. Just using different types of typographic technique. But you've gone with this really nice finesse over to the cover page where it's like bam, bam in your face, you know? So, and then I also am seeing a tendency here to just really want to throw everything at the whole composition, because we have everything going to the corners of the composition. So I would give a little more finesse on that. Moving to the feature spread. Like I said, I think this is a nice looking feature spread. It is. A couple of things we need to do. Let's forget about this image altogether right here. It's doing two things. Number one, it's creating too much balance, too heavy on the right-hand side. Number two, and most importantly, it's devastating your grid. You've developed this nice 2-column grid here. Now you've got these two little skinny columns and then this third column. So you've gone from a 2-column grid to a 3-column grid. It feels really uneasy to the eye. It doesn't feel right, and it's creating some visual tension. My idea is to get rid of this, move this down and over so that your type starts over here, and do something fun with the do something fun. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. We had that one trick. Look, you've got her sitting in a, I'm going to just Command R here real quick to bring out a guide. You've got her sitting right here perfectly. All right, I'm saying, look, I'm going to pull this guide right down here. Start all of your type right there on page 2 as well. I don't know why my guide's not pulling out on page 2. That's weird. But anyways, so, okay, and then since you pull all your type down here and start all your type somewhere down here, don't forget your folios, page numbers. You're going to need to research how to do folios. Take your headline here and, okay, you've got this built-in line of sight right here. And I'm going to pull this guide right down to where her eye would be, okay? And you use that line to do something with your headline. I mean, it only makes perfect sense that you move that headline up here and do something really super interesting with it, okay? And then get rid of that altogether. Nice. Let's go real quick to see if we have any orphans or widows. This is a drop cap. It should drop in to the paragraph, okay? If you're going to drop it 4 lines and there's 5 lines, drop it the full 5, okay? Just make sure it's flush with the top of the paragraph. Looking good, looking real good. Rags are pretty good. Nice job, not too many hyphens. That's technically a widow, so you want to get rid of that. And at least 3 or 4 words on the back end of your paragraphs, the last end of your paragraphs. Watch your baseline alignment. Those should align right there. See that? Those should align. Should also align on the second page too. Looking pretty good. Another widow right there. Okay, pull quotes. Try a couple pull quotes in this article. It's begging for them. Okay, all right, there you have it. Sorry I took this long. I wanted to be really brief. Okay, but there you have it. Okay, thanks, Abby.